you got a chance to speak to Virat Kohli for a few seconds. Right after that 100, you sort of sensed the vibe in Virat Kohli's body language as well. What was your assessment of the zone he was in after he hit that 100?
Yeah, the vibe or the emotion or the feeling, you're spot on. It was, I think his vibe early was determined. He knew the platform that had been laid by his openers, opening partnership of 201. Padikal, he certainly featured in a nice little partnership just to make sure that there wasn't back-to-back wickets. So that by the time Virat came in, he was determined and he took his time. He looked at that steely resolve in his eyes. He looked a little bit more settled, I think, than he has done. Certainly in the first innings here, it looked like he was trying to enforce himself a bit too much. Some of the innings against New Zealand maybe just looked a bit too on edge and too eager to dominate compared to what he normally does. He's always had a positive intent, but he settled today. And then as the innings grew, the crowd at that Perth stadium, only 26,000, which is a decent enough size crowd for Perth. So many Indian supporters. They were on the journey, as they always are with Virat Kohli, and you could feel the emotion around the ground as he got closer and closer. I think the manner with which he scored the 100, he went from 70. He was at 70 when Nitish Kumar Reddy decided to pull the trigger, and they both started to go. Virat just a flick of the wrist off Nathan Lyon, hit him back over his head for 6, and it was like, oh, here we go. Not only is the 100 on, but there might be a declaration. So the excitement around the ground was palpable. So that's where it was wonderful to talk to Virat, in the immediacy and the aftermath of scoring that 100. His reaction, turning to his wife and the families that are up in the corporate box there, blowing a kiss to them. It was magical. It really was. I'm an Australian cricketer. I love Australian cricket teams winning, not being on the back foot, but you've got to acknowledge greatness when you see it. And there's a lot of emotion and a great deal of greatness, if that's the term, because it was Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli is a tough character, and we all know that he gives it as good as he gets. And that's something that Australia as a country likes about Virat Kohli, because he's always up for a challenge. Now, does this set up the series beautifully? It gets Virat into the zone. Australia will be a lot more alert as well when they take him on. How does this innings change the complexion of the series?
Look, I suspect, we'll wait and see. We'll wait till the end of the series to know exactly where the turning points were or the key moments. But I think at this point in time, it's probably the innings of Yashasvi Jaiswal that is the major event. It was the platform that allowed Virat to come in and beautifully supported by KL. But yeah, it's an important innings for Virat. I think you could tell in the way a sense of relief, if you like. If you play long enough at this level, you're going to have dips. Even, Sachin found periods of time, particularly towards the back end of your career, Ricky Ponting, you're going to have dips if you're there long enough. But the champion players can claw their way back and find a way, and it just shows us that there's nowhere near is it time up for Virat Kohli. It was a matter of time till he, counter-punched, and he did it in a venue that he's had success before and in a country where he's had a lot of success. So it sets it up beautifully for him, and it's part of it. It was a contribution to setting up the game here for India beautifully.
The great Sachin Tendulkar, 6 Test hundreds in Australia versus Australia. The great Virat Kohli, 7 Test hundreds versus Australia in Australia. This is a special love affair, isn't it?
It is, and there's some beautiful batting tracks coming up, so Sunil Gavaskar might be under pressure very, very soon if Virat gets a taste for it, which he so often has done here